This is Rock Radio.
You are listening to the THC Show, Two Hotheads on Cannabis, with your hosts, Steve Epstein.
Not afraid.
And Mike Cann.
You will be. You will.
OnRegularRadio.com.
We're running a little bit late, but the opinions expressed that you were about to hear by the two headers on cannabis, Mike Cann Crawford and Steve Epstein, their guests and callers, are not necessarily those of the management of UnregularRadio.com.
Hell, they may not even be the opinions of Mike and Steve. THC is sponsored by the freedom of speech, a natural right. Defend it.
So, Mike, what are we going to talk about today?
We got some guests. Bill Downing is out making a run for us. We have Scott Madeline in the studio. So we have two Masscan Normal board directors to talk about our big event coming up next Saturday. What is it called, Steve? The Cannabis?
Well, we're calling it, for the general public, the Cannabis Convention, I believe. I haven't seen the website since I wrote it 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's what you're calling it. It's a Masscan Normal Members Meeting, Cannabis Convention in Worcester. So we will be talking about that. We're also going to be getting into a very kind of, how do you call this, heated...
It's a hot topic.
A hot topic.
Well, I don't know whether the people in this room are so strongly opined on the subject, but what's going on in Maine and the other states where dispensaries have been created is getting to be pretty ugly.
Yes, and it's generating a lot of discussion. I mean, our Facebook page was blowing up today.
I can't spend that much time on Facebook.
Repost. I just looked at it for a quick second, Steve, and I'd never seen something where we had posted something about our show and saw like 25 other people had reposted the same thing to their Facebook.
Well, then the people that posted to Facebook should be listening right now, and they should call 617-606-4122 to talk to us on the studio phone.
Yes. And we will be talking to Jim Fowler, who is a medical marijuana patient, but also a caregiver in the state of Maine, who is up on criminal charges right now. He's got a lot to say about this. He gave me a lot of information and really, had me take a look at this and had me talk to some of the people that were really in the know about this.
Well, I guess they still have caregivers in Maine, huh?
Right now they do. It's in the law, but what this new law did was it seems to make it much more difficult to be a caregiver. And there's some issues with... I have a big issue that we're going to talk about related to this Maine. I think we should get to it later. But, the big problem I have is, how does someone make the law and then benefit off of it right away? This is like Michael Chertoff.
Oh, grow up,
Homeland Security. And now he's selling the scams.
Grow up, Michael.
I can't grow up.
Yeah, you got to grow up.
Well, you know what? You say grow up, but... 30 years ago, if you did something like that in the United States, you'd be shamed.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
You didn't... There weren't presidents that... If you were president of the United States, you didn't turn around and take money from Saudi Arabia and China to go speak there. That did not happen.
Are you talking about George Bush?
I'm talking about Bush, Clinton. I'm talking about them all. And this is the problem with our government, is no one's paying attention. These people are rigging the game. They're playing both sides. They're corporations, they're nonprofits, and then they're regulators, and then they go back and forth. They're benefiting from public service.
Well, I guess I'll have to read the materials you provided or listen in.
These guys made the rules. These guys made the rules, Steve.
Who are these guys that made the rules?
We will name them.
Are they natives of Maine? Are they maniacs?
Well, apparently they are, because you just have to move to Maine, and a day later or 2 days later you become a Maine resident. And that's what some of these people actually did.
There's a couple of things really wrong with this that go way beyond even that. It's just stupid. I mean, after reading this stuff, it's just silly. And when we talk about it, I'll tell you what I think. But man,
that's the voice of Scott Stingray Tattoo Madeline.
That's why. Oh yeah.
And we're glad to have Scott in, because he's the new president of the Alston Board of Trade, and definitely does have. He definitely has a good perspective on this. I guess we have a phone call already. Why don't we take the call real quick? Who's calling?
Hey.
Who's this?
This is Bill West in San Diego.
Oh, hey, Bill.
How's it going?
Bill's calling from San Diego. Bill, I know that you got a perspective on this from what you see out in California, right?
Yeah. We just wanted to let you know that we were sitting out here listening to you.
Excellent. We appreciate that. What do you think about the subject of the day today that we're going to be discussing?
Dispensaries.
Well, that could cover anything, almost like religion.
Yeah. You've got some experience out there with dispensaries and the way things work.
Not like this. These are licensed dispensaries by the state. It's not quite that way in California.
It's very similar in some of these cities. That's what I'm seeing. What is your experience, Bill?
Well, it's like anything else. There are some good ones. There are some that are just definitely dedicated to the patients. I mean, that's what they should be there for, according to Prop 215. You know, it's for the patients. And then there's some there, like anything else, they're there for profit.
Yeah. So what do you think so far about? Is this your first time listening to our show?
Actually, it is, and I just happen to be sitting with Miss Lambert.
Oh, nice. This is Donna Lambert?
Yes, it is.
Donna Lambert was subject to several felony charges in California for growing medical marijuana. Is she on? Do you want to give a little history of that?
Yeah. You want to talk to her?
Yeah, definitely.
Hold on.
Hello?
Oh, dead air. Oh, dead air.
We're waiting for Donna. Hey,
Hi,
Donna.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I want to say hi to everyone in Boston.
Woo! Hello to you.
That voice was Mike Can Crawford's.
And this is Steve Epstein, my co-host. How's the weather out there?
Oh, it's so beautiful. There's a couple clouds. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day. It's about 68 degrees. It can't be beat. What about you?
Any earthquakes today?
No. But are you guys having snow?
No, but it's already getting dark here, and it's just kind of
Cold and gray.
Yeah, cold and gray. Nothing exciting.
Well, that's always good to smoke some herb and make a wood fire, right? Give you a good to cozy up.
We're hoping Steve shares some of his before our replenishments come in.
Let's stop burning my table over there.
Yeah.
So are they having dispensaries in Boston now?
Not yet.
Not so-called, but things are beginning to appear underground.
Yeah, there are some underground movements going on.
Yeah.
What do you've dealt a lot with these dispensary issues and being a caregiver, someone who got busted.
Right.
From what I'm hearing from some of the main medical patients up there, they're saying that the dispensary situation is out of control and not fair, and that they're basically invalidating their right to be caregivers. They have to go through many more hoops to become caregivers. They passed a ballot initiative that they thought would help them, and in reality, it's only hurt them. What's your experience in California?
I think that everybody would like the law to be clear, one. And two, then it needs to apply equally to everybody. But that's not what's going on. You have certain power groups that are helping to create chaos and then approaching city councils and asking for only them to be able to have a dispensary. And the reality is the law is if it's legal for people to collectively associate, then it's legal for everybody. So they need to make zoning ordinances that apply across the board equally to small groups as well as larger groups. And it's random how they arrest people. Like one person could be doing the exact same thing and as another person as 20 other people, and it's like a fishing net they throw out, and they pull one person in and throw them in prison.
Yeah.
So that's a big problem that I have.
But they didn't throw you in prison, did they, Donna?
No, they didn't throw me in prison. But they wore me out, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, but you beat the rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's always good.
I'm pretty hard on that one, and I really hope that the district attorney's office knows that there are legitimate patients out here. And, I don't think anyone even should have to have a doctor's Hey, is Lester Grinston from Boston?
Yes, he is. Well, he's at Harvard University. Yes.
Was.
He's no longer? He retired?
That's what emeritus means. He's retired.
Oh, he is retired.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was. You learn something new with Steve every day.
Yeah, and what he says, about cannabis being safer than aspirin, and nobody needs a doctor to tell you if you have a headache or if it helps you sleep or relax. I don't think that anybody should have to, and I don't think that anybody should be put in prison, period. And I just think here they need to make zoning that applies equally, and so that there isn't, one small group of elite hot barons who are cornering the market and bullying other people and narking other people out to maintain their market share.
Well, if you open up a storefront or any type of business, nonprofit or not, you should be subject to having to have it in a commercial zone as opposed to a residential neighborhood.
That's understood, Steve, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Maine that charges a $15,000 application fee for dispensary monopoly. We're talking about that they charge $300 per patient that the dispensaries take in. They're basically automatically saying the price is going to be high. We're going to make sure the price stays high. That's in what they submitted to the state. That these are the people that set this system up. They got the two of their board members on this Northeast patients group. They got the majority of the dispensary monopolies. I mean,
so the same
this
thing
is what
happening there is here. Then that's the big problem, and that's why, like, the general person sitting on their couch or the small grower, they have to get involved and go to city council and let their voice be heard and speak out for the small people, because it's these big people with big money that are going in there and making deals. They want it that way. That they're trying to do that here in San Diego too. They're trying to make it so it costs about $80,000 to get a store opened up. And so it's like only the people who are already millionaires off selling pot are going to be able to do it, and that wasn't the intention when they were trying to make it so that it would be something that wasn't for profit, that wasn't motivated by corporate greed.
Yep.
Oh, corporate greed is good.
You know what? Corporations and competition is good. Limiting access to markets, barriers to markets, where the big boys lock everyone else out.
Well,
that's not
these
good.
aren't even the big boys we're supposed to be afraid of.
Yeah, they are. They're the big
this
boys.
Isn't
as far as I'm concerned. We do have another call.
It's really nice talking to you guys.
Oh, we lost the call, apparently. Do you want to leave us with any final thoughts? I know we're going to have a lot of calls coming in today. Anything that you want to leave with the listeners, Donna?
Yeah, my final thought is, if you know how to grow marijuana, help somebody else learn. Bring some cuttings. Don't try to make some money. Just keep spreading the knowledge.
Yeah. And isn't that what you did in California, too? I mean, the DA had a really tough time with your case because you were actually giving a lot of it away at a really lower price than what these dispensaries were. Isn't that correct?
I was helping people grow for free for 4 years. I was giving people plants that were like 2 feet high, ready to bud for 4 years. So, and I had a dozen people willing to take the stand, and they knew it. Testify honestly. So, they knew that I've been doing a lot of nurse nightingale type of work.
Yeah. When the plant is non-toxic, when anyone can grow it, why do we need big corporations to monopolize? I don't get it.
And that's why they're trying to lock people in prison, because this is something that people can do for free, and we don't need chemicals and pharmaceuticals. So, yes, marijuana is great. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon out there on the West Coast.
We do have another caller. Let's see who it is, but I think we're coming up to some type of break, aren't we?
Who knows?
Let's see who this caller is. Hello.
Okay, bye. You guys have a great day.
Which one of us?
We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Ding dong, it's 420. Because more wackiness is sure to ensue.